It's time to keep track. Here are the final stats.
So, Curse Tracker, this one was heavy duty. There was a lot in there.
It was, but not as much as you think.
Really?
It was very it was loaded.
Yeah.
It was very fuck loaded, I should say.
Did you count dildo as a swear?
No. Or camel toe. I didn't count that as a curse either.
I saw somebody did a supercut of all of the fucks, and it's like 4 minutes long of just the fucks in this movie. So
yeah, I will get to it. So there's 3 shits and 2 assholes. It's kind of apt. And that's it, except for fuck, which there were 35 fucks in the movie,
Wow.
which is more than Deadfall,
Wow.
which had 34. So currently this is the top of the list of fucks for any of the movies.
those are all Nick
which
Cage. 35
Yeah,
from Nick
those
Cage.
are just Nick Cage. Yep.
Holy shit.
I don't count anybody else. There were other swears, obviously, but
Yeah.
just from him. There were 35, which I did not expect.
No, holy smokes.
To be that many in this one performance. But that puts a total of 40 for this movie, which puts it behind, what is that? Behind Deadfall, which had 44, which was like 20 minutes of screen time. So Deadfall did a lot of work in that time.
capitalized on
Nick
that
was
time.
swearing a lot, yeah.
Quality over quantity.
And 47 behind Vampire's Kiss. Vampire's Kiss had 47 curses in it, and this had 40 total. But again, 35 of those were fuck, and the other 2 were just asshole and shit, which is like PG-13 swearing. So barely even registers.
So Vampire's Kiss is still tops, right?
Still number 1. Yeah.
Nice.
That brings our total to 199 curses.
Dang.
106 of those are fuck. So there's a pattern overall.
He loves
It'd be fun to turn this into a chart at the end, like into a graph.
Awesome.
I couldn't believe it. Like, this is probably like the nicest character he's played in any of these movies, and he swore more than almost any other movie. He definitely said more fucks than any other movie.
I mean, that's real to life. These are like, this is supposed to be realistic conversations, and I think, I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure I say fuck at least 35 times a day.
Yeah.
Start keeping count.
If not more. Nudity tracker, we had 1 breast hanging out.
Which I was surprised at.
I know, me too. It was so awkward.
Yeah. I actually went back and retroactively added back in that one man ass from Bringing Out the Dead. I've started charting everything now, so we are up to
hobo ass.
Yeah, hobo ass. We are at 9 breasts so far. 1 female ass if you count Fanny from the from Grand Isle. 2 man asses. We got 1 Michael Biehn in Deadfall, and then the homeless guy in Bringing Out the Dead. 0 vagina so far. Can't wait to see what the first movie is with that. I actually think
you're not going to count. You're not counting camel toe.
No. I actually at one point I had some nipples and like some like you can imply that there's vagina there or something, but I was like that's too much work. Dog Eat Dog definitely has a lot more nudity than any other movie we've done so far. That'll be fun for everybody. One technically 1 penis. If you count the boxer tent from Mr. Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss. So 13 instances of nudity so far over the course of our 7 films. As for the state and country tracker, we were in Chicago and New York. So that brings our grand total up to 6 states. California twice, New York 4 times, Washington, Louisiana, Massachusetts, and Illinois. So starting to add up.
Nice.
I wonder, like, by the time we finish all of his films, are we going to hit all 50 states? There's some obscure states that you wouldn't think would be in films, such as like Ohio, which is in our next movie, which takes place entirely in Ohio, which is funny. So, yeah. I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there eventually. I also added a budget versus gross tracker. Now that we're 7 movies in, I think it's even more relevant as we go along. How much money has he lost and gained for studios so far. This movie, of course, had a $22 million budget, made $19 million, so it was a bomb, which brings our grand total up to $117 million budget for the 7 movies so far, but it's only made back 76.8. So he has lost $40 million in our 7 movies so far. To be fair, a couple of those movies were direct to video, so there really isn't any kind of like budget or gross from those, like Grand Isle and Colorado Space. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out when we start doing his bigger box office movies, especially his run in the early 2000s, late 90s. Where he was kind of, doing blockbuster after blockbuster. So yeah, that'll be fun to track. I also added a rating tracker, which this movie was R-rated, so that brings us up to 4 R-rated movies, 1 PG-13 with The Wicker Man, and then 2 unrated movies, which I got a bad feeling we're going to end up with a lot of unrated movies.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of this thing. That leads us over to the Cage Kill Tracker.
All right, so we came close to getting a kill in this film, but he pushed out at last second, twice actually. So 0 kills, but over the 7 movies we watched, he has had 7. He's killed 7 people. Deaths, we're finally starting to see a nice turn here, where once again he survived. So we are at 5 deaths out of the 7 films we watched.
Crazy that we went 5 in a row and then 2 in a row of him not dying.
Yeah.
5 straight deaths and then 2 lives.